So actually, when I started investing for the first time, I think like outside my 401k, I actually had a horrible aha moment. I may have told the story already on the podcast, but I'm going to tell it again for those listeners that may not have heard it in previous episodes. But so when I purchased my first stock, right? I am a 24-year-old JJ, fresh out of college, sitting in my cubicle, hating life, and trying to figure out how am I going to make some extra money to be able to get out of this damn job. Because the job, I'm not saying cubicles are bad, but the job I was working at inside my cubicle, no, I'm going to say I personally hate cubicles, but with that, the job I was working at and the job I was doing was absolutely just horrible. That's all I can say. It sucked, dude. I hated it. Every drive home was miserable for me, knowing I had to wake up and do that same thing that same next day. So, anyways, I was like, hey, I'm 24. I can do the stock thing. And this was before like stock YouTubers existed. Like, it was more of just like I don't even remember reading articles. Maybe I read some articles like blog posts on stocks or something like that, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I opened up an E-Trade account back when you had to pay like $7.99 or $9.99 a commission for every trade. So every time you purchase a stock, you had to pay like $10 to purchase the stock. It's crazy to think about now. But, we're talking, what, 7 years ago, 8 years ago? So anyways, it's 24-year-old JJ. I open up my E-Trade account and I'm searching. I'm looking for the next stock. I started out looking at like Apple, Google, like your typical stocks, which I wish I would have bought back then and never have sold. I would have been sitting pretty. But I'm like, no, I got to do something different. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, but for some random reason, I think I can beat these main household names. I need to find the next Amazon. I need to find the next ExxonMobil that no one's even heard about yet. I know I can do it, even though I don't even know how stocks work. I have to look up and read a blog post on how to make my transaction happen on E-Trade. But I could find this stock. I can find this stock to know what it's going to do. So anyways, I found this oil stock, right? I think it was called like Kodiak or Bear something. I don't remember. It was a cool name. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Got a cool ticker symbol. I'll throw $500, and $500 was a lot for me back then. I mean, it still is a lot to this day. So I threw a $500 into this oil stock because I just figured like, oh, I know a lot of people that have made a lot of money in oil. Oil sounds like a cool investment. I'll get into that. I literally had no idea how stocks worked. My family never invested in stocks. Like, I never had a conversation about stocks. This was me starting from nothing. So I buy this oil company back in like, I don't know what it was, 2015, 16, somewhere around there. I can't remember, whatever age I was at 24, whatever year it was. So then literally, I think not 2 months later or a month later, oil tanks, no pun intended. It just drops to nothing. This company literally goes out of business. It gets bought up by another company, but they end up like getting rid. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't remember it to this day, but basically the stock was worth nothing. I made literally the worst investment I think I could have ever have made, which I'm so shocked to this day that I stuck with it, knowing that I literally lost my entire $500 from this investment. And I sold it at like the very bottom. I looked back at it like a year ago. No, like I think the company that was owned now is like Whiting something. I can't remember. But anyways, I looked back and the company that bought it at the time was like a $300 per share company. Their stock price was $300. So now I looked at it a year ago, whatever it was, and they were trading for like under $1. They were a penny stock. They went from $300 down to like less than $1.
You should have ran from the markets.
Dude, I know, right? That was like my real first aha moment of like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I investing in stocks?